Hello YouTube, Shin Tiger Curl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you the next part of my countdown to Pirate Warriors 3 Let's Play. Last time we rounded out and finished off the 7 Warlords of the Sea with Jinbei. Now we look at the second, well, third as far as the canonity of the story goes, of the 3 great powers of the Grand Line, the 4 Emperors. Okay. Of course, all the information provided here comes directly from the One Piece Wiki. So if you want to learn more about these characters of the world of One Piece, head on over to One Piece Wiki. They have all the information that you'll ever need on One Piece. Or, do like I do, just read the story via the manga or watch the anime. You won't regret it. So here we go. The Yonko are the 4 most notorious and most powerful pirates captains in the world, according to the world government, but are neither allies nor enemies with one another, preferring to remain autonomous under most circumstances. These 4 individually reside within the second half of the Grand Line, known as the New World, extending impressive influence and control over dozens of other pirate crews and self-governing islands. In the decisive battle of Marineford, Whitebeard, one of the 4 emperors, met his end towards the climax of the war. Blackbeard, his assassin, subsequently usurped his position. Shanks, another member of the emperors, arbitrated a ceasefire to end the aforementioned war. Abilities and powers. As an entity, the Emperors are one of the 3 great powers of the world, the others being the 7 Warlords of the Sea and the Marines. Their strength and influence are such that they live quite literally as though they were real emperors, doing mostly as they please. Individually, they are considered to be the most powerful pirates in the world, as well as having a powerful crew. Because of their power, they can declare chosen locations as their own. The mere declaration is often enough for others, both Marines and pirates alike, to acknowledge their authority. In fact, in the New World, they each have a territory they each govern. These territories benefit from the protection that the emperors provide, keeping the borders safe from any faction that might want to invade them. It is only with the combined efforts of the Marines and the Warlords, as well as the distrust among them, that they are kept their powers in check. During the Battle of Marineford, the Marines and the Warlords needed to fight together in just to engage one of the emperors and his crew. The arrival of a second emperor immediately brought an end to hostilities, showing the power and influence they have without engaging in combat. The emperors themselves are not aligned together as a coalition compared to the 7 warlords, and follow their own individual paths. The possibility of 2 or more of the emperors forming an alliance is enough of a threat to cause the world government to panic, as seen when the world government attempted to unsuccessfully prevent a meeting between Shanks and Whitebeard at one point in the series. The world government feared that the 2 would unite together and create a stronger threat. A war between 2 of the emperors is considered a terrifying crisis, as Shanks' interception of Kaido's advancement on Whitebeard had taken the Marines by shock and awe, putting the world government in a, quote, cold sweat, as stated by one of the Marines. They can motivate others to become pirates as well. Shanks inspired Luffy, and the death of Whitebeard inspired many pirates to travel to the Grand Line. On top of this, the influence these pirates have over others is far greater than any other group noted. With one declaration, the slave trade and pirate attacks on Fishman Island stopped after the island was declared to be under the control of Whitebeard. After the time skip, Trafalgar Law cited there were only 2 methods of surviving in the New World, and that was to be under the protection of an emperor's domain, or become their ally, or constantly oppose their authority. At least Teach and Kaido are both gaining influence and strength in the form of amassing devil fruit powers, both using their unorthodox methods. Because of their immense power, it is necessary to form factions aiming to oppose them to first strike an alliance with other factions in order to bring down an emperor. However, even with multiple alliances amongst the most powerful pirates, the chances of defeating an emperor are extremely low. History. The first of the emperors to be introduced was Shanks, who visited Luffy's hometown 10 years before the story began. It is unknown if the title of emperor existed at that point in time, or if he was one at the time as well. The second was Whitebeard, the only man who could ever rival the pirate king Gold Roger in terms of strength. Whitebeard was later described as the strongest man in the world upon Roger's death. Some of the 7 warlords have fought the emperors in the past. Shanks and Dracul Mihawk frequently dueled in their younger days. Gecko Moria fought Kaido, and Crocodile faced off against Whitebeard. All of the emperors seem to have strong fleets, including huge ships and elite crew members. At some point, they all traveled to the New World, where they are currently locked in a stalemate, unable to progress any further into the Grand Line. This is the product of the combined efforts of the Marines and Warlords, as well as the presence of the other emperors. Jaya Arc. The world government allowed the world powers to stay as they were for a very long time. With the emperors stuck in a deadlock, the world remained stable. However, after the defeat of Crocodile by the Straw Hat Pirates, the world government were alarmed to learn that 2 of the emperors, Shanks and Whitebeard, had arranged to meet each other. Post-Enies Lobby Arc. On top of the destruction of Enies Lobby, the Marines experienced another defeat in the New World when a blockade failed to prevent Shanks and Whitebeard from making contact. Fearing the 2 crews might form an alliance, the world government anxiously waited for the outcome. During the meeting, Shanks' presence aboard Whitebeard's ship caused a majority of the crew to collapse. Shanks shared some sake from his hometown with Whitebeard as a token of friendship, while at the same time issuing a grave warning. Shanks told Whitebeard that his days as the strongest pirate were coming to an end, warning him that the new era was coming. With Blackbeard making his move towards prominence, he would dispose of Whitebeard from his throne. Shanks also tried to convince Whitebeard to call 2nd Division Commander Portgas D. Ace back from his pursuit of the pirate. Whitebeard stubbornly refused Shanks' warning, and the 2 clashed. The sky seemingly split in half when their weapons collided, much to the horror of the members of both of their crews. Summit War Arc Impaled Down. In an attempt to rescue Portgas D. Ace, Whitebeard summoned all of his allies from the New World in preparation for war. Kaido attempted to attack Whitebeard, but was intercepted by Shanks. The Marine Ford Arc. Whitebeard and his crew of allies arrived at Marine Ford 3 hours before Ace's scheduled execution and initiated what would become known as the greatest war since the beginning of the Golden Age of pirates. During the battle against the Marines, Whitebeard revealed how debilitated he had become over the years due to old age, and he steadily acquired increasingly critical wounds from his enemies because of his weakened state. During the battle, he destroyed most of Marine headquarters, easily defeated 2 giant captains with the rank of vice admirals, and withstood the combined efforts of all 3 admirals. He was able to help free Ace, but Admiral Akainu executed Ace shortly afterwards. An enraged Whitebeard dealt a serious blow to the Admiral, but it was not enough to completely incapacitate him. Remaining at Marine Ford alone to resolve the conflict with the Marines, Whitebeard was attacked and ultimately killed by the Blackbeard pirates. Shortly afterwards, Shanks arrived at Marine Ford with his own crew. His presence spared the remaining allies of Whitebeard and brought the war to a quick end. Shanks challenged Blackbeard, which the latter turned down before leaving with his own crew. Post-war Arc. According to Eustace Kidd, Whitebeard's death and resulting vacancy amongst the emperors caused the balance of the 3 powers to collapse, leading to chaos all around the world. Islands that were once under the protection of Whitebeard, such as Foodvalton, came under attack by pirates. Sometime afterwards, Diaz Drake arrived at the island belonging to Kaido, stating that to be one of the emperor's favorites. He asked Iron Body Scotch if attacking him would catch Kaido's attention. Upon receiving an affirmative answer, Drake changed into his dinosaur form and attacked the cyborg. The Gorosei postulated that Blackbeard was the pirate closest to becoming the next emperor, due to his possession of 2 Devil Fruit abilities and having complete knowledge of Newgate's Sphere of Influence. Time skip. After the death of Whitebeard, Big Mom took over protection of Fishman Island in exchange for a large amount of candy every month. Teach also usurped Whitebeard's position as the fourth emperor, as the Gorosei predicted, having managed to conquer most of Whitebeard's former territory and becoming stronger by hunting down powerful devil fruit users and taking their abilities after killing them. Fishman Island Arc. When the candy factory was demolished during the uprising of the new Fishman Pirates and Flying Pirates, the Fishman Island was almost provoked Big Mom's wrath, since the island did not have enough candy for tribute to her. Luffy pledged that he would protect Fishman Island as his claim Fishman Island as his protectorate by defeating Big Mom, shifting her fury from the island to himself. Pirate Alliance Saga. Punk Hazard Arc. According to Caesar Clown, Kaido has assembled an army of Zoan devil fruit users using smiles provided by Don Quixote do Flamingo. During the events of Punk Hazard, Trafalgar Law formed an alliance with Monkey D. Luffy in order to depose Kaido. Luffy agreed to it, but he also declared that he would eventually overthrow all four of the emperors. Independently, Eustace Kid, Basil Hawkins, and Scratchman Apu came together into an agreement and also formed an alliance to take down one of the emperors. When Kid saw that Luffy and Law had formed their own alliance, he surmised that they were after the same thing and wondered who their target was. Dressrosa Arc. Teach was heard talking to Jesus Burgess via Den Mushi when Burgess stated that Kuzan could not be trusted. Hearing that Luffy had arrived, Blackbeard greeted the young pirate and expressed surprise that he was also a combatant in the Kuroda Coliseum tournament for the Flare fruit. Knowing why Luffy entered the tournament, Teach assured him that Burgess would be the combatant to obtain the fruit, and that it would be the same as having Ace join his crew, since Ace had rejected his previous offer. Luffy angrily stated that he would never allow him to steal Ace's power. It is revealed during the meeting with Sakazuki and the Gorosei that Kuzan has become associated with the Blackbeard pirates. It is Kids Alliance eat as they discuss the news, since Doflamingo is tied to Kaido. The Luffy-Law alliance must be after him. As the crew celebrates their news, Killer states that their target is now the Emperor Shanks. Upon Doflamingo's defeat, Kaido's subordinates were seen informing him of the destruction of the Smile Factory and the end of his professional agreement with the Don Quixote pirates since they were arrested. Small trivia. Well, first, members. Former member Edward Newgate, aka Whitebeard. Red-haired Shanks, Big Mom Charlotte Lin, Kaido, and Blackbeard Marshall D. Teach. Trivia. It is said that once Elizabello II had gathered enough strength, his punch can even knock out an emperor. Marshall D. Teach is the only known person to serve both as a warlord and an emperor. And Kaido is the only emperor who has yet to be formally introduced. And yes, that was the profile of the four emperors. A terrifying brute batch of pirates, if I say so myself. We're a little over 30 minutes, the shortest group profile ever. So anyway, tune in next time as we profile the first of the emperors to be introduced, the man who inspired Luffy to go out to sea as a pirate, Red-haired Shanks. So if you like what you've heard, link, comment, subscribe below. Got any questions or comments? Leave them below. I'll get back to you. You want to support the channel? Hit that like button or hit one of the advertisements around. They all help out immensely. Or if you just want to donate directly, the tip jar is up there. Donate what you can. So, until next time, this has been Shin Tiger Curl, that dude in the straw hat, saying good day, and things are going to get crazy from now on.